Hey, growing up, I always had turkey for Thanksgiving and turkey for Christmas. And somewhere down the road, when I became an adult, I decided it was time to make a change. Turkey was definitely for Thanksgiving, but Christmas called for prime rib. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, my kids agree. It is the meal for Christmas. So today we're going to show you how easy it is to make a dynamite prime rib for your next celebration. Hey, today we're going to show you an easy way to make a great prime rib. If you don't have all the tools that we've got, don't worry. You could still make a superior prime rib in the oven. We'll show you how to prep the prime rib, how to do a reverse sear using a sous vide and a big green egg. And we'll also throw in some tips along the way that'll help you out no matter what you're cooking your prime rib on. If you've never been to the channel before, we try to put out cooking and brewing videos every week. I'm not a school-trained chef, but I enjoy showing people that you can make, that it's really easy to make fantastic meals. So please like, subscribe, and share us with your friends. And don't forget, when you subscribe, to enable notifications. That way you never miss a single exciting episode. Now, I really, really like cooking bone out prime ribs. And why bone out? I'll tell you why. Mainly because I don't like paying for the bone. You know, that's just extra weight that, you can't eat it. So why do you have it on there? And on top of that, I like having a nice crust all the way around my prime rib. And I think it just makes it look pretty. And man, it really tastes good. So when you get your prime rib, the first thing that you've got to do is remove that fat cap that's on there. Sure, fat is flavor, but in this case, it's flavor that's not gonna help you out, because if you just put your rub on top of it, I mean the fat's not going away. It's not going to permeate the meat. It's still going to be there. So you're just going to end up trimming it off later. So what I do is I trim it off from the start. And if you notice, we used a brisket trimmer and a paring knife. And the brisket trimmer really did a good job of going to town, getting that fat cap off. It took, big chunks of fat off, and really fairly easy to control the depth of the fat that you were getting out. And then I just use that paring knife just to clean everything up and get the little pieces taken off. Sure, the butcher would probably frown at the techniques that we used, but it worked pretty quickly and efficiently using that brisket trimmer and the paring knife. Hey, something else that we really didn't talk about too much. When I prep this prime rib, after I trim it up, I like taking butcher's twine and I tie it up. The deal is I'm trying to get it as cylindrical as possible. Sure, the butcher's twine isn't going to get it perfect, but it's going to get it a little bit rounder. And it also helps when that meat cooks and it gets super tender, it'll help hold everything together. So there are a lot of videos. In fact, we'll put some links down below on how to tie butcher's knots. It's a really easy knot to learn how to tie, and it'll be handy for most things. Well, I don't know. a lot of things that you cook in the kitchen. So once you get it prepped by removing that fat cap, it's time to season it. And we seasoned our prime rib by applying both a wet and a dry rub. And don't worry, I'm going to list the ingredients and the breakdowns in the show notes. But for now, we use black pepper, rosemary, thyme, oregano, garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, and cayenne powder. And that mix was just perfect. I've used it the past couple of years, and it turns out great. So be sure to get good coverage for your entire roast, and then finish by sprinkling a light amount of coarse kosher salt over the roast. I then took the meat and I put it inside a vacuum, a food saver bag, and I vacuum sealed it, and then it was ready to go. The next step is setting up your sous vide. So we've got this little cooler that works really well for us. We like using a cooler because it's superior to using like a pot, because it maintains temperature pretty well. And I'll just fill it up with warm water and put my sous vide in, set the temperature as I wanted. And for this, I set my temperature to 121 Fahrenheit. And then I added the vacuum pack roast. Occasionally you'll have to put like a pan or something on top of whatever you're cooking in the sous vide, just to make sure that it stays submerged, it doesn't float up to the top. Like at the beginning of our cook, the prime rib sat down at the bottom, but then it started slowly floating up. So I just put a pan in there and held it down just fine. So I let the roast cook in the sous vide for about 5 hours, but it could have been left in there a little bit more. So while the sous vide was heating and cooking, I fired up my big green egg. My plan was to get that thing blazing hot so I could quickly sear the exterior and create a beautiful crust on that meat. I removed the roast from the sous vide, and it was incredibly tender. So tender that I had to be extra careful loading it into the big green egg. I mean, I felt like the thing was going to fall apart. It was a good thing that we had tied it up, and so the internal temperature was a little bit lower than I predicted. So I had to juggle searing the exterior with getting the interior to keep cooking to get that temperature that I wanted. The way I did it, occasionally I'd close the big green egg and I'd seal it up, and it would, the flames wouldn't flare up, and it would act more as an oven, just cooking that piece of meat. So once it reached 131 Fahrenheit, or the temperature that I was looking for it to be done, I pulled the roast, I brought it inside, I put it on my cutting board, and I tinted it for about 10 minutes. So basically I was tinning it. I mean, I could have served it right then, but we had to finish a couple of the sides, get them ready, get everything prepped. That way we could serve our dinner. So I tinted it, and I knew the carryover was going to help bring the temperature up to 135 Fahrenheit, or medium rare, which is a good temperature, optimum temperature for us to serve this meat at. And I sliced it up with a brisket knife. It cut like butter. I knew right away that we had a great piece of meat. It was another tender and juicy prime rib. We served it with a great creamy horseradish sauce, and we'll be sure to share the ingredients or the recipe for that horseradish sauce in the show notes. And if you didn't cook a prime rib this year for Christmas, that's okay. Just go ahead and pick one up at the store. You still got time to cook one for New Year's, either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, or if you're just getting crazy, you could cook it for Saturday. Why not? Or Sunday. If you follow these tips that we've got, you'll certainly impress your guests. Hey, please subscribe, like, comment down below if there's anything in particular you want to see us brew or cook. So join the adventure, keep getting after it, and be well. All right, cheers.